All right, let's move on. Just a couple of news items this week. I want to start with PUBG. It's obviously a big deal. As I mentioned at the top of the show, it's got at least one update for Xbox to help continue to add stability and polish to what is very much an in-progress game. But Microsoft did a little no-no, or at least they're accused of it. And if you're watching on video, we will show this. So Microsoft was accused of stealing fan art for a PUBG ad. And this was actually acknowledged by Larry Herb, aka Major Nelson. He said on Reddit, "I wanted to let you know that this is being investigated. In the meantime, our official channels have pulled down the asset in question." And if you're watching on video, so here first is the fan-made art, if you're looking at the screen. So for those of you listening on audio, which I know is most of you, it is an Xbox One with basically the top removed, and it's a wheat grass field with a PUBG player sort of, wading through waist deep grass or wheat or whatever the heck that's
very
supposed
nice
to be.
You painted a real good word picture there.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And so now, it's definitely. I mean, you look at this. I think it's an excellent image. I mean, whatever.
Oh yeah, totally.
The person that made this did an excellent job. I mean, it's very striking. It's like
I thought this was the real one at first.
Yeah, I mean, so let's now, if you're watching on video, let's show the one that Microsoft put out, which is a wee bit similar. It says "Land, Loot, Survive," but it's the exact same thing, even the same wheat field, different player character inside an Xbox One X instead of a white Xbox One S.
Way different.
It's so different.
And there's a little loot box.
There's a little box container, loot box container, whatever, drop ammo supply crate thing.
Zoomed in. There's a
You shouldn't have
controller.
complimented me. It's all downhill.
Yeah, I mean, you did really good on the first one, and then all of a sudden it fell.
So yeah, I mean, this is like exact. I mean, it's a pretty hard to argue that
People are divided on it. There are people who are like very angrily like, no, there's no way that this is a ripoff. Like, how dare you?
That's insane. It is
absolutely
clearly the exact same concept.
But the way that this kind of thing happens and has happened in the past is that someone will be like, hey, this is a cool concept, and then someone will design something around it, and it will get passed through a chain, and the person at the end never realizes what it came from at the start.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. So it happens in a way that's totally an accident. I don't think that they would have actively been like, let's recreate
and with a thing like this, like a million people touch it. Like that's how you get like what was that? An Assassin's Creed concept art was in Uncharted 4?
It was in Black, it was Black Flag. The concept art was in the trailer for Uncharted. And that would have been the same thing. It's like a placeholder image that someone put in. And like with this, it's like they might have thought that some staff member made it because it was on the system. And I don't think this was malicious or intentional whatsoever, but I absolutely think that it was ripped off that way.
I mean, that doesn't excuse the fact that Microsoft ultimately screwed up. But yeah, I totally agree that the person at the top of the food chain never saw
people who
the
approved
original
it had
fan
no
art.
idea that was happening.
I mean, like the lone bright spot on this could be that this hopefully gives that original artist a lot of attention because that's a really cool concept. Yeah. So yeah, I want to see if they have more ideas like that.
That one
Excellent
better.
ad.
It looks
me
really
too.
good. Yeah.
It's a lot more simple, and I like how it's a lot more zoomed out. And just,
Hopefully it's like that thing where, hackers sometimes get hired by the companies that they hack into.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, well, come help us defend against this kind of stuff. So hopefully this graphic designer does, as you say, Marty, does benefit from it. So that was a little interesting PUBG story for this week to start the year. I'm Ryan McCaffrey, the host of Unlocked. If you enjoyed that segment, be sure to check out the full episode and all of our episodes on our YouTube page, youtube.com/IGN Unlocked. Or if you're a podcast listener, you can pick us up on any of your favorite podcast services.